Hey guys, it's Marshall Tingle with your pair of Stockyards market a minute for today, September 21st of 2023. So we've had a good day here at the Stockyards today, a busy day. We sold 2,416 head of cattle through the barn today, and you're starting to see your typical fall run spottiness on your market. And what I mean by that, don't get worried right off the top, because what you're seeing is you're seeing higher highs and a little bit lower lows, and your spreads are starting to get higher between your top side of things and your bottom side of things. Of course, naturally, like I always preach, your weaned, preconditioned, hard, turnout ready type cattle are sure enough bringing the premium. If they're not, as far as if they're balling calves, got a little bit extra flesh to them, or might have just a little splash of color to them, that's when you're starting to see your buyer selectivity to them, and they might be on the lower end of the spectrum. But again, as a whole, this market continues to stay strong. Your highs are higher. We sold $3 calves in several instances today, and that's a good side. $2.99 was the top on a full weight steer, just to give you an instant. Some of these loads traded really nicely. But if you see a big spread on some of these prices, that's what's going on. We're fixing to come right into September, October, November, into the fall, where this weather starts to fluctuate. You're starting to run into more health issues, and your buyers and your farmers and your producers are looking at that type of stuff more closely, especially with how many dollars are involved in your purchase of your calf, your initial purchase of your calf, before any other input. So just keep that in mind. Don't get worried. It's just your fall run spottiness. But let's talk about what these cattle are worth. So your full weight steer cattle, I'm going to call them 240 to 270. They topped off at 299. Like I said, on your lighter 3-weight cattle, you had several cattle over that $3 mark or right at the $3 mark, and that's a good sign as well. Your 5-weight steer cattle, I'm going to call them 230 to 250. They topped off at 269. 6-weight steer cattle, 225 to 245. They topped off at 273. So that's what's going on there. Like I said, your top end of things are higher. You're just seeing a bigger spread between the bottom of the class and the top of the class. Now, as far as your heifers, 4-weight heifers, we're going to call them 220 to 240. They topped off at 259, which is a really strong trade on a little light heifer. Your 5-weight heifer cattle, 215 to 230. They topped off at 239. And then you get into your 5-weight heifer cattle, you're looking at, your 6-weight heifer cattle, 220 to 235, and they topped off at 253.50. So that's a nice side. Now, your weight cows were back just a little bit this past week, but again, these numbers on the top side of these things are still really, really strong. Top selling weight cow this past week, $1.28. Top selling weigh bull, $1.41. So that's still nothing to get worried about. But check out some of these bred cows. Now, we had 3 consignor packages come to town today, and man, they sure enough brought the bells and whistles. So your top selling 7 to 9 month bred cows, $1,875 on those. Your top selling pairs, 21 and a quarter, and a really nice set of baldies they were there. Now, let's talk about these groups. We sold several big groups and lows today, and this market still continues to be strong on these. Might be back in an instance or two as a whole, but these that traded here that I'm going to list still traded extremely nicely. So here's 34 head of black steers, weighed 605. They brought 269.50. Go just a hair heavier. Here's 57 head of black steers, 699 pounds on the average, 257.75. And check out these 8 weights. Here's 62 head of 8 weights, weighed 836 pounds on the average, all black at 255. So that's a really good price, and actually right over top of the CME feeder cattle index. So that's a really good deal if you know what I'm talking about. Now, as far as your heifers are concerned, here's a big string of heifers. Here's 162 head of these black heifers, average 630 pounds on the average, 253.50. And then move on up to the heavier set of them. Here's 35 head of black heifers, 669 pounds on the average, 242.75. But don't forget, coming up September 30th, so it'll be next Saturday at 1 o'clock, we're having a special cow sale right here at the yards at 1 o'clock. We've got 3 cow packages consigned. It might be a few more on the way. There are going to be some really, really quality farm fresh cattle coming to you. That'll be next Saturday, September the 30th. Keep that posted. And as always, on behalf of myself and everyone at Pair Stockyards, we just want to say thank you for your business. We truly are farmers doing business with the farmers. And if there's anything we can do to help your livestock marketing needs, we sure would love to help you out. Have a great weekend. See you next Thursday.